Hey everyone, what's up and welcome back. I'm super excited to have you here today because we're going to dive into something really special. If you're a coder, a developer, or just someone who's curious about the world of programming, then you're in the right place. Today, we're going to explore Visual Studio Code, or as most people call it, VS Code. This tool has revolutionized the way we write and manage code, and I can't wait to show you why it's my absolute favorite. Today, we're diving into the world of code editors with Visual Studio Code, or VS Code for short. This isn't just any code editor, it's a powerhouse packed with features that make coding not only efficient but also enjoyable. Whether you're working on a small project or a massive application, VS Code has the tools you need to succeed. It's my go-to for coding, and for good reason. The interface is sleek and intuitive, making it easy to navigate through your projects. Plus, the customization options are endless. You can tweak the settings to match your workflow perfectly, which is a game changer for productivity. VS Code is like the Swiss Army knife of code editors. It's versatile and can handle just about anything you throw at it. From debugging to version control, it has built-in support for a wide range of programming languages and frameworks. This means you can switch between different types of projects without missing a beat. It's super clean, really powerful, and best of all, completely free. That's right, you get all these amazing features without spending a dime. This makes it accessible to everyone, from students just starting out to seasoned professionals looking for a robust tool. Whether you're into web dev, Python, or anything in between, VS Code has your back. The extensions marketplace is a treasure trove of add-ons that can enhance your coding experience. You can find tools for linting, formatting, and even integrating with other services like GitHub. The possibilities are endless. We'll walk through downloading, installing, and even some cool tricks. I'll show you how to set up your environment, install essential extensions, and customize the editor to fit your needs. By the end of this tutorial, you'll have a fully functional coding setup that's tailored to your preferences. No worries if you're just starting out, we'll take it nice and easy. I'll break down each step so that even if you're a complete beginner, you'll be able to follow along. Coding can seem intimidating at first, but with the right tools and guidance, it becomes a lot more manageable and even fun. By the end, you'll be ready to code like a pro. Let's get started. So grab your laptop, get comfortable, and let's embark on this coding journey together. Trust me, once you get the hang of VS Code, you'll wonder how you ever managed without it. Ready? Let's dive in. First things first, we need to grab VS Code. Just head over to their official website. It's super important to download from the official source. That way you know you're getting the real deal with all the latest features. The website automatically detects your operating system, so you'll see the right download button. Click it, and the download will start. Easy, right? Now let's move on to the installation. Once the download's done, find the installer file. This is usually located in your downloads folder, but it might be somewhere else if you've set a different location for your downloads. If you're having trouble finding it, you can always use the search function on your computer to look for the file name. It should be something like vscodesetup.x or similar. It usually ends in .x, double-click to run it. If a security warning pops up, don't worry, this is just your computer making sure you really want to run the file. Click Run or Yes to proceed. You'll see a window pop up with the terms and conditions. This is a standard part of most software installations. It's always a good idea to at least skim through these terms to understand what you're agreeing to. Give it a quick read, and if you're okay with it, click Next. If you have any concerns about the terms, you might want to do a bit more research before proceeding. Next, you'll choose where to install VS Code. The installer will suggest a default location, usually in your Program Files folder. The default location is usually fine, but feel free to change it if you prefer. If you have a specific folder where you like to keep all your development tools, you can select that instead. Just make sure you remember where you put it. This can be helpful later if you need to find the installation folder for any reason, such as adding extensions or plugins manually. Keep clicking. Next, to go through the installation steps. Each screen will guide you through the process, and you might see options to create shortcuts or add VS Code to your path. It'll take a few moments to copy files and set everything up. During this time, the installer is placing all the necessary files on your computer and configuring the software. Once it's finished, you'll see a Finish button. This means the installation is complete and you can start using VS Code. Click it and boom, VS Code is installed. You can now find it in your Start menu or on your desktop if you chose to create a shortcut. Open it up and start coding. Now, let's fire up VS Code. You should have an icon on your desktop. Double-click it, and VS Code will open up. You'll be greeted with the welcome screen. This is your home base. It has helpful links to documentation, tutorials, and more. Feel free to explore. Now, let's move on to the interface. Section 5, Exploring the Interface, Finding Your Way. Alright, let's break down the VS Code interface. On the left side you have the activity bar. This is where you'll find icons for different views like Explorer, Search, and Extensions. Next to it is the sidebar. This is where you'll manage your files and folders. In the center you have the editor, where you'll write your code. And at the bottom, you have the panel, which displays output, errors, and other helpful information. See, VS Code is super organized. Now let's check out some key features. Section 6, Key Features, Syntax Highlighting, and IntelliSense. VS Code comes with some awesome features that make coding a breeze. Whether you're a seasoned developer or just starting out, these tools can significantly enhance your productivity and coding experience. One of my favorites is syntax highlighting. This feature is a game changer for anyone who spends a lot of time writing code. Basically, it color codes your code so you can easily distinguish between different elements. Keywords, variables, strings, and other components are all highlighted in different colors. This makes your code much easier to read and understand. Imagine trying to debug a large block of code without any visual cues. It would be a nightmare. Another killer feature is IntelliSense. This tool is like having a super smart coding buddy right there with you. IntelliSense gives you code suggestions as you type, making coding faster and less error-prone. It can suggest variable names, functions, and even entire lines of code. IntelliSense gives you code suggestions as you type, making coding faster and less error-prone. It can suggest variable names, functions, and even entire lines of code. This is especially useful when you're working with large code bases or unfamiliar libraries. It can even auto-complete your code for you. This means fewer typos and syntax errors, which can save you a lot of time and frustration. These are just a couple of the many features that make VS Code so powerful. The combination of syntax highlighting and IntelliSense can transform your coding experience, making it more efficient and enjoyable. Trust me, once you start using them, you'll wonder how you ever lived without them. So go ahead, dive into Visual Studio Code, and explore all the amazing features it has to offer. Happy coding! Section 7. Command Line Access Opening VS Code like a pro. Now for you keyboard ninjas out there, here's a cool trick. You can actually open VS Code directly from your command line or terminal. To do this, you need to add VS Code to your system's path. Don't worry, it's easier than it sounds. Just open your system settings, search for environment variables, and add the path to your VS Code installation directory. Once you've done that, you can open any folder in your terminal, and simply type code dot to launch VS Code in that directory. Super convenient, right? Section 8. Additional resources, level up your coding. Alright, that's the basics of VS Code. But there's so much more to explore. VS Code has tons of extensions that can add even more functionality, like themes, language support, and debugging tools. If you want to dive deeper, check out the official VS Code documentation and YouTube channels like ours. We'll have more videos on VS Code tips and tricks. Section 9. Conclusion, happy coding. So, that's a wrap. We've covered downloading, installing, the interface, key features, and even some command line magic. Now, it's your turn to explore the world of VS Code. Remember, the more you use it, the more comfortable you'll become. Don't be afraid to experiment and customize VS Code to fit your workflow. And most importantly, have fun coding. Peace out.